Impact sets up a massive interpromotional title showdown. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Wednesday, March 10th, 2021. This update is brought to you by the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Check out the new episode with special guest Jim LaMotta right now, wherever you get your podcasts. Results from Tuesday's New Japan Cup matches and AEW Dark are straight ahead in this update, but first,
Impact Wrestling.
The main event at Impact Wrestling's Sacrifice show is now a championship unification match, but the showdown Saturday night between Impact World Champion Rich Swann and TNA champ Moose is only the beginning.
Whichever one of you walks out of Sacrifice is going to be in another match, title versus the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega.
That's Scott D'Amore making the announcement on last night's Impact. It'll be title versus title. Kenny Omega versus either Rich Swann or Moose at the Rebellion pay-per-view on April 24th. Getting back to Saturday night's Sacrifice show, it's an Impact Plus exclusive. 4 matches were added to the card on last night's Impact. A Hold Harmless match between Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. James Storm and Chris Sabin versus Violent by Design. Tenille, Dashwood and Kaleb with a K versus Havok Nevaeh, and Decay versus Reno Scum. Ace Austin has an X Division title match against TJP at Sacrifice, but last night, Austin was pinned by Chris Bay. Storm and Sabin beat Rohit Raju and Mahabali Shera. Later, Raju blamed Shera for the loss, and that led to Shera attacking Raju. Jazz submitted one half of the Knockouts tag champs, Tasha Steelz. Trey Miguel submitted his trainee, Sam Beal, who was convinced to challenge his teacher by Sami Callihan. After the match, Callihan attacked Beal.
AEW.
We'll find out tonight how AEW will handle the dud ending to its exploding barbed wire death match at Revolution. We got a clue to the plan on last night's Impact. During his weekly paid ad, Tony Khan said we'll hear from Eddie Kingston on tonight's Dynamite, and, quote, we'll find out why he did what he did and what happened out there at the end, end quote. Khan was sticking to the storyline that the failed Final Blast at Revolution was a result of poor craftsmanship by Omega. Just announced yesterday, Ethan Page will make his Dynamite debut tonight against Lee Johnson. Also tonight, Darby Allin defends the TNT Championship against Scorpio Sky, Matt Jackson versus Rey Fenix, plus Hikaru Shida, Ryu Mizunami, and Thunder Rosa teaming up against Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, and Maki Ito. We'll also hear from Christian Cage for the first time on AEW TV. On last night's Dark, Fuego del Sol finally hit his Tornado DDT, but the force of the impact sent QT Marshall out of the ring. QT later hit the Diamond Cutter to get the win. Also, Santana and Ortiz beat Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela.
WWE.
2 major championship matches on tonight's NXT. Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Adam Cole, and Io Shirai putting her women's title on the line against Toni Storm. On top of that, NXT is promoting 2 huge game-changing announcements from GM William Regal, plus Xia Li versus Caden Carter. Tonight's MLW Fusion has Alex Hammerstone defending the National Openweight Championship against LA Park.
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor has added a grudge match between Jay Briscoe and EC3 to its 19th anniversary pay-per-view. This match was first made for Final Battle, but EC3 was pulled from that show after he tested positive for COVID-19. On ROH's week-by-week YouTube show Tuesday, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams submitted LSG to win a 3-way that also included Bandito. Williams is the #1 contender for the ROH TV title.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
The final 3 first-round matches in the New Japan Cup are happening this morning. The second round begins on Thursday's show. We'll get Evil versus Jeff Cobb and Grado Khan versus Toru Yano. Circling back to Tuesday's matches, Sonata beat Tomohiro Ishii and Yuji Nagata beat Yota Tsuji. Sonata and Nagata will meet in the second round. That's Just Pro Wrestling News for Wednesday, March 10th. Our next update comes your way tomorrow morning, so please rate, review, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.